En el día de hoy voy a estar conversando con el alcalde de la ciudad de Nueva York, Eddy Adams, en una conferencia de prensa virtual junto a una serie de compañeros. Aquí estaremos conociendo las nuevas propuestas que este mismo trae para mejorar la alta crisis que se encuentra pasando la ciudad de Nueva York, los altos precios de la vivienda y también el alto consumo de las motocicletas ilegales en la zona vial y peatonal, ya que no es seguro para el ciudadano. Esto y mucho más conoceremos en esta conferencia. Veamos.
Of Hispanic Heritage Month, but these celebrations have to go beyond that. They have to go and be focused on action. And when you do an analysis of this administration, that's what we have been about. You have witnessed some clear gains in movements and position of power and influence. So many first-time evers in this administration. This is probably the most diverse administration in history. People see themselves in our administrations, our policies, our focus, what we have done. We often ask and hope for folks of color to get into roles, and when they get there, not acquiesce and ignore the people who got them there. I have been clear on that. I've been unapologetic about having a diverse administration and focus on a working people agenda, and we have done that over and over again. If you look at where we were January 1st, 2022, and look at where we are now as a city, it's not based on my analysis. It's based on all of the wins we have. And Jose, you should send out our win list to this entire body of media men and women, because some of this stuff get lost in the noise of those who want to sell that the city is in disorder. It's far from that. The city's not coming back. The city's back on so many levels. We're going to continue to do so. But we can't ignore the real crises we're facing with the asylum seekers and migrants without the help from the federal government, which I think it is really, it's just humiliating to what has happened to New Yorkers and what has happened to migrants and asylum seekers. We should not be put in this position. Taxpayers should not be placed in this position to see long waited for programs are going to be impacted. And we should not see migrant asylum seekers placed in this condition, having to be in shelters and camps and tents and not being able to work. And so we need to all add our voice that New York City deserves better. And I'm going to continue to do so. And I'm hoping in your publications that you can continue to do an analysis of what is happening to our city because of this crisis. So I'll open it up to any questions. I'm looking forward to a great conversation.
Yes, we're going to have this conversation. We have 30 minutes for this conversation, 35 minutes max. I'm going to be calling each one of you. You are going to have, one question, and if there is a follow-up, we can do that. So I'm going to start with Queens Latino, Javier Castaño. Javier?
Hey, how are you, Mayor?
What's up, Javier?
My question is this. When you say a few things regarding the asylum seekers a few days back, you say that we are in a crisis, we don't have the help of the federal government, and that the city is paying for this. But the reaction of many politicians and so on, community-based organizations, were really bad against you. What is your reaction about that? Did you regret the words that you said?
Well, first of all, do an analysis of who was against me. Let's do that first. It's the same people that's against me when I talk about public safety. It's the same people that's against me when I talk about housing. Same people against me when I talk about mental health crises. The loudest are not the majority. Everyday New Yorkers who see me, they know how I am around these issues. They know how I am about immigrant issues, immigration issues. And no, I was on point. I had a very honest conversation with New Yorkers that this can destroy our city if it's not under control, and it's real. We're talking about, in this city, we have a $106 billion budget. 76 billion of that is already accounted for. It's already paying for pensions and everything else. So we have 30 billion left. Out of that 30 billion, It pays for all the services we're doing, foster care children, of senior care, all the things that we do that we are using for programs to help people. Out of that 30 billion, we're going to spend 5 billion this year for migrant and asylum seekers. So that leaves us another 25 billion. Then we're going to have to spend another 7 billion in the next 2 budgetary cycles. So we're talking about, out of the 30 billion that we have to take care of our city, 12 billion is coming out of that. The long-term impact of that is devastating to struggling New Yorkers who already were dealing with crises after the pandemic. And so all of those who are saying, well, we hate the word Eric is used, hey, that's fine for them. I'm not gonna look for a thesaurus and find what's gonna make people comfortable. This is wrong, what's happening to our city. And those same people who are criticizing me for everything I do, but ask them, what have you done to get the migrant and asylum seeker issue addressed in our city? And they don't have an answer.
Thank you. Next one is El Correo, Carmina Fonseca. Carmina?
Yeah, sorry about that. I was trying to get out mute.
Yes.
So we're Noticia now, Noticia New York City, Noticia Long Island. Hi, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for this opportunity.
How are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you. So on a more positive note, I would like to see if you could highlight for us any success stories or programs that showcase how New York City is helping Hispanic migrants achieve stability and become part of the city's diverse fabric.
Oh, listen, you know, that is probably the real plus to this administration. People have come through and walked through our intake center and our center where we are helping migrants and asylum seekers file to get their status, and it is just impressive. Number one, over 3,000 have had their applications filled out to start the journey of getting their authorizations and having their asylum seeker applications heard. We make sure that out of the roughly 20,000 children, they have been incorporated inside our school system. We do not ask of their immigration status or where they're from, but it is estimated that in children in temporary housing, almost 20,000 of them are migrant asylum seeker children. And the most exciting part about it that I love the most, many of them came into the system not speaking English, and by the end of the school year, they're speaking English, helping out their parents navigate the city. We have help with issues around healthcare, around training, around English as a second language that has been extremely successful. We've gotten a large number of attorneys in corporations that are sitting down, assisting and filling out the application. Now they're going to be doing not only for work authorization, but also the asylum seekers application. So we built out an infrastructure and a system that are helping our migrants and asylum seekers, and we're going to be able to help close to around 20,000 actually fill out the work authorization so they can now be self-sustaining in the city. So it's been really exciting. The work we have done, other municipalities have looked at us and say that we are a symbol of what other municipalities should be doing, and they've been coming watching what we're doing here. So this is not all doom and gloom. These are new workers, new energy that want to participate in the American dream, and we want to do everything possible to assist them.
Thank you. Next one is Caroline Pimentel, Opción TV.
Hi, how are you? Yes, I'm here. Most of the questions you got it. The one that I have. One of the things is that this morning, when I was walking with my kids through the pavement, when you're supposed to walk, right? I see the driver from the motorcycle like driving from there. How are you going to plan to stop that? Because it's still happening a lot of them. And I feel ashamed, like people from my country doing that. You know, I see it. a lot of Latinos doing that. And I
Right.
had to say it. And I started screaming every time I see that happening. And the other thing is that, what about the train, the bus? You guys gonna plan to put camera? So like you can work more and can see like anything is happening at the same time?
Yes. Now, where was the area that you saw people driving the motorcycles? Where was it? Where?
That was uptown Manhattan,
Okay. Okay.
around 207.
Okay.
Washington Heights area.
Heights, yeah.
Yes.
First of all, I just love when folks like you raise these issues, because I am often criticized when I talk about we need a city that's safe for children and families. And people think that I'm the only one that believes that way, that we don't want people riding mopeds and motorcycles on our sidewalks, endangering our children, that we don't want people injecting themselves with drugs on our platform, on our streets, or sleeping in front of our homes. That's what everyday New Yorkers want. You want to be able to walk the streets with your child and be safe. And that's what I'm fighting for. And oftentimes, those who are the loudest, every time I do an initiative to do that, they want to paint it as Eric is trying to be heavy-handed. No, I'm not. I'm trying to say the city must be safe for working class people. And I'm going to continue to do that. So I'm going to zero in on, we are coming up with an initiative that we're going to announce next week on continuing to go after the illegal use of scooters and mopeds and motorcycles. Do you know we removed over 11,000 illegal motorcycles, dirt bikes, and scooters off our streets? People were using these illegal bikes to do robberies, shootings, other illegal action. Many of them were stolen. This administration zeroed in on that, and we have another plan that we're going to roll out that's really going to clamp down on enforcement of the improper use of these scooters and mopeds. And with the subway system, today we announced an expansion to using video technology on our buses and on our train, but specifically in our train station. We have a robot that we rolled out. I'm pretty sure you're going to see the news on it, but it's going to be, we're using a pilot project now. If it's successful, we're going to expand it. It has the capability of 24/7 coverage, of capturing video, also a panic button just in case people need it. And we're going to see if this is a successful model to put in many of our stations. But I'm with you. Safety is everything to me. I want my son to be safe in the city. I want my family members to be safe, and I'm not going to back away from that.
Ahí vimos pues detalladamente lo que nos dijo el alcalde de la ciudad de Nueva York, las nuevas propuestas que él trae para mejorar la crisis que se encuentra pasando esta misma. Mejor seguridad para nuestros niños, para las actividades físicas en zonas como como los parques, y también la vía peatonal y las calles. Así que vamos a seguir pasando más de las informaciones durante la semana, ya que él dijo que de esta misma propuesta comenzarán a salir en esta semana. Esta es una noticia en desarrollo. Para todos ustedes, reportó Carolyn Pimentel.